Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on another episode of Creative Calling Podcast. I'm your host, Briana Christine, designer, illustrator, creative entrepreneur, and dancer. And today I am here to bring you another inspiring activity from Creative Calling Activity Book. This is a book that I designed for creative entrepreneurs who are working on this endless but exciting adventure that we call being a creative entrepreneur. Each one of these activities we've been going through in this series, I take the activity that's already in the book and I break it down even more so that you can get even more than what's already in this cute and awesome little book that I made. And today we are talking about approval, waiting for someone's approval. Sometimes waiting for people's approval is necessary in our job. Sometimes it's not. So I encourage you in this book, in this activity today, to write a project that has been on your mind, but you might have been waiting for a friend or a family member's approval to start. This could be something like waiting to start your diet, and you're waiting for your friend to get back to you because they're gonna do it with you. Or it could be a lot of things. I'm just gonna jump in and dive into the example that I'm gonna work on today, which is related to more of my dancer side career. I kind of jump back and forth between the two, each one of these episodes. So today I am going to go into the studio. I have a student at the studio where I work now who hasn't come in for a while. And part of our process is to call them back, see if they would like to schedule a lesson, especially if they already paid for it in advance. So this student is, a lot of people have fears about learning how to dance, and this person is not coming back in. So my thought is, well, it'd be nice to be able to send him a video because it can relate to what we've already worked on, and he doesn't need to come in to see it. He can just practice what I want to do in the video in his own time. So I asked my manager for permission to start this project, and at the end of the day, yes, it is their student comes through the studio, but it's my responsibility as sort of an entrepreneur, kind of taking a different approach today, since that job provides me a place to talk about that kind of work. Entrepreneur being that you're working as an entrepreneur inside of a company versus you're not within a company and you're trying to get your own business outside of a company. So as part of my entrepreneurship today, I am going to record a video in my own time and talk about the things we would have talked about if the student had come in for a lesson. Now, I'm going to send it, and I'm not gonna wait for anyone else's permission. I'm not gonna wait for my manager to say, hey, that's okay, you can send it to him now, because I've already basically followed all the procedures we need to do. And at this point, there's nothing we can really lose by sending him a video because the student isn't calling back to come in, right? So I'm taking a calculated risk here. I'm not just overriding my manager. I'm not overriding somebody else that's important, but I am not waiting any longer for permission to do something that is going to hurt me, basically. So, each one of these activities can be a little interesting, particularly this one, waiting for permission rather than forgiveness or that kind of things. I've heard that before. Just be aware of when you're using it as an excuse versus you're doing it intentionally. So I hope that through my detailed explanation of that, you'd hear that it's thought through, that I've calculated the risk, and I'm just not letting any more barriers keep me from an opportunity that can allow me to grow. Because there's so many times where we can let opportunities like that we just put them on pause indefinitely, forever. And we never really go back to that. And then at some point, you have to ask yourself, is it my fault that that student never came back in? What if I had made that video? What if I had just done what my heart was telling me to do and I actually went through and made it. But if I go in today and make that video, then I won't have to wonder, right? Versus, okay, well, I did what my boss told me to do, but now we don't have any students. So that is what I'm encouraging you guys to do today, is to take a calculated risk. Don't ask for anyone else's permission. Just know what's in your heart, feel it out. Give yourself permission to do something that you know is right today. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Creative Calling Podcast. If you would like to get your own Creative Calling Activity book, you can go to creativecallingactivitybook.com. Actually, it's creativecallingbook.com. Yes, I know my own links. And you can connect with me, Briana, at facebook.com/BrianaForCreatives. You can go to Instagram at BrianaForCreatives. I'm always listening to your guys' feedback. I know a couple of you have reached out to me recently, particularly Joe and Matt, with some really great tips and advice for me. Thank you so much. You guys inspire me. I hope I inspire you as much as you inspire me. And as always, guys, until next time. Oh, don't forget, YouTube and SoundCloud. I always know there's something I forget. YouTube and SoundCloud, guys. That's where you can connect and subscribe and get more episodes like these. All right, for real. Until next time.